Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today, we're talking about workplace injuries and doctors. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Jordan Arndt was injured in a workplace accident. As a result of this being a workplace accident, he was referred to the WorkSafe organization for his province, and the matter was ultimately sent to a doctor for an assessment. Mr. Arndt was assessed by the doctor and given a negligent opinion about the status of his injuries and the extent to which he had prospects for recovery. As a result of this, it impacted his claim. Mr. Arndt tried to sue the doctor for negligence in discharging his medical duties to Mr. Arndt, and the court had to determine whether or not that doctor conducted a negligent medical investigation in the circumstances. Mr. Arndt was unsuccessful. The doctor succeeded in arguing that essentially his duty was to the workplace organization that was covering the insurance and not to Mr. Arndt personally. This is a very interesting case because it really would clarify the scope of a professional's obligation to other individuals. Earlier this year, the Supreme Court of Canada considered a case that involved a lawyer's obligation in referring an individual to another lawyer or to other services, and what obligations the lawyers have to those people, and how lawyers can be financially responsible for that. Why should doctors be treated differently, and particularly so in the context of investigations for workplace incidents that arise, potentially putting a person in a position of a power imbalance vis-a-vis the doctor and the workplace safety organization and their workplace? This was the opportunity for the Supreme Court of Canada to really right what seems like an inherent wrong in this case, and to make it better for people who are injured in workplace accidents so that they can get proper medical attention and proper treatment by somebody who's looking out for their best interests. The Supreme Court of Canada had the opportunity to make that more fair for people who are suffering, and unfortunately they missed the mark here. This is another case that will have to wait for another injured individual who needs medical attention before the Supreme Court of Canada can intervene in a sensible way. You're watching Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. I'm Kyla Lee at Acumen Law Corporation. Thank you to Brazen Bull Creative for putting together these videos, and like, subscribe, and share with your friends.